Hey everyone, NW Order for Life here with the final episode of Seven Deadly Sins, Season 1. I believe there's going to be a Season 2, so I'm going to say Season 1 here. And wow, an episode, one episode it was. We start out with Gowther instantly being okay and, just fine. He gets orders from Captain Meliodas to transmit all the information to everybody in the battlefield with his memory power transfer thing. And I think it's called broadcast. And everybody gets the instructions to attack, what's his name? The villain. Oh, good. Hendrickson. Attack Hendrickson, with all the power they've got. And meanwhile, Meliodas will hold Hendrickson, in close proximity. And Hendrickson's like, this isn't hurting me. This isn't doing nothing. All it's doing is hurting, Meliodas. And it turns out that that's exactly what Meliodas wanted, because Gowther reveals that, and at the very last second, that Meliodas has an ability called Revenge Counter. It is his ultimate ability. It is a double-edged sword because he has to survive while taking so much damage. But once he gets all that damage, he can redirect all of it in one shot, right back. And Meliodas does exactly that. He slices Hendrickson, the demon, the gray demon Hendrickson, with his power, finishes him completely, and the day is saved, essentially. And then what happens is everybody is all happy, and Elizabeth runs to Meliodas, who's collapsed, and then her father appears with Merlin, and it's an embarrassing moment because she's all over Meliodas, and it's funny. And all the knights of the kingdom bow to the king and ask for his forgiveness for how they've strayed from their path. And the king orders them to, to continue their service as knights forever. That's their punishment. That they have to right all their wrongs and so forth. And Guila, or rather Jericho first, is like pondering about how Bond saved her, how she was naked in his arms and everything. And she's like, she can't stop thinking about him. So she's falling in love with Bond. And then Guila comes out to her in a dress, and she's like, why are you, Jericho's like, why are you in a dress? And then she's like, oh, I was saved, by the power of love. And then she looks back at the window and starts waving to Gowther. And and Gowther's waving back, and Jericho's kind of shocked, like, what's going on, and then there's also the part where Elizabeth is with her family, and Meliodas comes and grabs her from the castle. Oh, before that though, Elizabeth sees her sister, the one she thought was killed in the mine explosion by Griamore, and she wasn't. She woke up in his arms, and then he nursed her, back to health, and bandaged her leg or whatever he did. And I think also he used his barrier ability to trap Hendrickson to help Meliodas in the fight, or to help everybody else hit Hendrickson in the fight. And anyway, so Meliodas goes to the castle. He gets Elizabeth and says it's time to go on a new adventure, and pretty much asks the king if he can take his daughter, and does all that. And the Seven Deadly Sins join up with him, and everybody's ready to go on a new adventure to search for the remaining Seven Deadly Sins, I believe, right? Because they have Merlin, they have Gowther, Meliodas, King, Diane. I think one is missing, I think, and Bond. And so they're going to search for the remaining last member of the Seven Deadly Sins, and taking Elizabeth with them on the adventure. And meanwhile, Gilthunder is feeling really guilty about everything he did, even though he did it to protect the one he loved. He still was really cruel to the people, and did a lot of evil things. So he wants to go on a journey of repentance, and I don't know if he takes Margaret with him, or if he's just going to stay with Margaret. But that was what's going on with him. And then Gilthunder, Griamore, and Hauser, I believe it is, they find documents in Dreyfus's office that shows them that Dreyfus has been studying the demon clan and the demon symbols and all stuff like that, and they are now like really questioning like what's going on, like what's the truth behind all this information. Is Meliodas really a demon? Why was Dreyfus so heavily involved in it? So there's a lot of questions leading up into a future season, like what that is all about. And of course, why Guila just, fell in love with Gowther, when we didn't even see like what Gowther did to help her. Like we just saw he did something to stop her demon transformation, and everybody else was transforming with a new generation. So yeah, so that's a mystery too. But the episode was great as always. Meliodas had an awesome display with his revenge counter, a really reckless tactic that not many. I don't think any hero that I've seen in fiction has used this before, where they just get blasted and beat up with everybody else's power and then unleash it, in like this kamikaze type of attack. It was really cool. Hendrickson was a great villain. The way he was corrupted, from what he started as and to becoming the demon that he was just really good, and his fighting powers were insane. Oh, and I forgot to mention Hawk comes back to life. One of the biggest things, we don't really know how, just his body kind of just crumbled away, and then a little version of Hawk, a miniature version, came out of that crumbling black body, and now he's here as just a little tinier pig. So don't know what that's all about, but that definitely needs explanation. And Hawk's mysteries will definitely have to be revealed in order for that to make any sense. And I think Merlin is with Arthur in Camelot again, and I don't know if Merlin went with Meliodas and Elizabeth. I'm not sure if she did. I forget. At the end when they all go to find the last member of the Hendricksons. But either way, fantastic episode. I give it 8 out of 10. I really love the series. I hope there's a season 2. And if there isn't a season 2, I highly advise everyone to check out the manga, because the manga is pretty awesome. And it's a lot more. It gives a lot more explanation on little things that don't make sense in the anime, and some things were changed, like the manga Griamore, kind of like fought with Dreyfus against Hendrickson. So that's like a difference right there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I love this anime adaptation. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. What you think about Elizabeth and Meliodas' love issue, or relationship, and other things, maybe Diane and King. What's going to happen with them, with Bon and Jericho? What's going on with Guila and Gowther. Let me know if you guys want to talk about anything or about season 2 or whatever. If that's coming up. And please rate the video and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thanks. Have a nice night.